It is 12.
Dang it, the countdown messes us up now.
They can still hear us, though.
I know, but half of the fun is starting the live stream when the other hosts aren't quite ready yet and letting them be thrown into the fire. That is, Ashley, that's my love language. It makes me so happy to do that to Doug and Abby. Hey, everyone. Thanks for
Hi,
joining.
everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. It is Wednesday, June 18th, and we are here with Writing Sprints with a special guest host from the community, Ashley, our very own Ashpash. Hi, Ashley.
Hello. Hello.
And
please ignore the sound of a very annoyed cat.
It adds to the ambiance.
It does. And aren't all cats slightly annoyed always?
All the time.
Yes.
Either that or they just don't care. They just
well, yeah.
He cares too much.
Their ambivalence is usually mixed with antagonism.
So we had a little bit of a mix up with the sprint links this morning. You might have to refresh your page to get the new links below us, but we did share the first one in the chat, and then you can navigate from there, and we'll share the second link and the third link when we get to them. 5-minute breaks in between, as per usual. Ashley, how are things? This is our first time getting to meet face to face. How fun!
It's always strange when you're seeing some of the people from the community, because you always have an idea of what they'll be like in your heads.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm living up to that.
As we've bonded over horror movies, I will admit I had less pink in my head than what I see behind you. So, but that's usually the case. All my friends love horror movies.
Weeks worth of work to make my entire bedroom a sunset mural.
It looks awesome. Let's say some quick hellos to the people hanging out in the chat today. We have Elena, hello, and NJ, and David, and Hope, and Reed, and Sarah, and Iva. Hello, everybody. Let me see. Emily's here as well. I think I got everyone who said everything. I know everyone's saying a big hi to Ashley already, but if you haven't already, say hello. Monica, hello. It takes a certain what's the word I'm looking for? Tenacity to come on a live stream. So we appreciate it. It's not for everyone, right? Yeah. And we appreciate the hosts that we've had come on, and we appreciate you being here. So Ashley, what are you working on today?
I'm working on just a random idea that I had of an AU of an AU, essentially. And it's just it seems to be more of a found family coming of age kind of thing now.
Okay.
I don't have a plan on it. It's just absolutely pantsing it.
And nice. I can't remember, are you normally a pantser, or are you lean more plotting?
I'm usually a plantser, so I'm
okay.
Got like a general outline of what I want to happen in each chapter, but then I kind of just go for it.
All right. Well, that's fun.
I have no idea.
Hank, what about you? What are you working on today?
Last night, around midnight, I turned in my trilogy to Athon Books. It's off my desk. It's I'll have another round of edits come in, but the full trilogy is finished. It's all cohesive. All of the questions in book 1 are answered in book 3, and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm leaving out on a 700-mile road trip in just a minute. So I'm going to be stepping out. But I'm taking today to celebrate, and
as you should.
Yeah,
as you should.
So I feel very accomplished and weight lifted off.
Good. One of the things that I always try and drive home is that part of goal setting is celebrating and rewarding yourself when you achieve that goal, and that's a really big goal that you achieved. I hear the beeping. I don't have my screen up, but we're gonna start writing. Hank, you be safe on your trip, and we'll see you later.
We'll see all you beautiful people next week. Ashley, keep Doug in check. I'm tagging you in old wrestling fashion. You're it. Bye, guys.
Bye, Hank. Alrighty, and that is our first sprint of the day done. I have to pause my music now because I'm not hosting all by myself. Ashley, how'd that go for you?
I got 868.
Excellent. I got 42. But yeah, very, very different sprints that we're doing there.
Yeah.
I want to check in on the chat here while everyone shares how they did. I know we had some people come in. JM Brown just made it. Hello. And Susan's just joining in for the first sprint. Hi, Susan. Renee came in, said hello to you. And we'll join our next sprint. Keo popped in at work, but wanted to say hi. If you're still around, Keo, hello. Athena also just joining in. Reed, it's a good excuse. If there's going to be an excuse made, I think that's a good one. Iva got 475, Alina 118, JM Brown 152. Fantastic. Okay, I have a Dugget for today. And that actually, before I do that, let me share the link to the next sprint. And as always, the next sprint is linked from the first sprint in the top left of that page. So you can all find it there, but I'll drop it in the chat. And let's see, Sarah got 258 as well. Emily got 12 words and sketching out a map for your novels. Awesome. Okay, Dugget. I will watch the movie Warfare, which is I didn't know much about it other than it takes place. I think it was in Afghanistan, could have been Iraq. They don't actually say it, and this is what brings me to what I'm going to say. So it was well done. It was well produced. The acting was good, and it was very tense. The entire premise is that it focuses on these soldiers trapped in this place when people are trying to get to them. And it takes about 93 minutes, which is on the shorter end for a movie these days. But as well done as it was, and as high as the tension was, like it was tense. Okay, there was no plot, there was no real climax because the whole thing was up there. There was no character development. So when the movie ended, you're like, okay, that was really intense and that was well done, but like, is that it? Is there more? And so what I'm trying to get at here is I'll often talk about story structure in things and like beats and plot arcs and whatnot. And people will be like, Doug, that's, let me just do my thing. I don't need to know that stuff. But when you don't have that foundation in your story, if you don't understand that foundational stuff, then you risk having a story that leaves people unsatisfied, even if you've done it really, really well. So that's my Dugget for today. Have you ever watched or read something that was good, but like something was missing?
I think there's a lot of movies where they just glance over what they are trying to do.
Mhm.
Movies with a really good premise at the start, and they just don't seem to get to the point, or they just missed the point, or they've done something where it could have been a great movie, but they've just ruined the whole premise. I
Fair.
really think they should start remaking movies like that instead of remaking all these wonderful classics that
All the
everyone
good
loves.
ones.
Find a movie where it had a good premise
Mhm.
and something went wrong in either the story or the characters, and redo it to get it to its full potential.
I like that. Don't redo the classics, redo the disappointments.
Yes.
And Athena saying in the chat, that was Thunderbolts for me. Screen fan requested, and you love Marvel. And
Mhm.
actually, I really like Thunderbolts. But I really like Thunderbolts because of the characters in
Yeah.
Thunderbolts. I think Marvel does a really good job of coming up with really likable characters, especially when you get to those like sassy yet dark anti-hero kind of characters. They do a good job with that. But Thunderbolts kind of lacked a climax, and I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil it because it is kind of fresh. But I can see why people were kind of disappointed because the plot structure wasn't necessarily there. Yeah, yeah, good call, Athena. Hope saying that often happens in the second or third season of a series too. Yeah, and then it can just go and get canceled when
Yeah.
you're really invested in it. All right, our second sprint. See, these 5 minutes go by even faster when you're on stage here. So happy sprinting, everyone. We'll see you in 20 minutes. All right, everybody. That is our second sprint of the day finished. Ashley, how to go?
859.
Excellent. I got -16.
My
I
cat
am
is like right here.
I can hear them. I can hear them now. That's adorable. I dropped the link for the third and final sprint of the day in the chat. Let's see how everyone did. Reed saying Florence Pugh stole every scene in the Hawkeye series, and she did in Thunderbolts too, but like
And in Black Widow.
Yeah, and in everything. But I am a
Yes.
Florence Pugh fan, and I'll leave it at that because I'm in a professional setting. So Athena, 511 words. I have a 443. Sarah, 122. David, 231. Renee got 90. Reed, 561 for a subtotal of 1,024 and fewer pretzel interferences. Hope got 300. Lauren, hi Lauren, got 466. Fantastic. Susan got 256. We live for Florence.
We do. We do. I love her in Midsommar.
Yeah. Yeah. She was in another horror movie too. The first time I saw her. I can't remember what it's called. Malicious, maybe? No. I don't know. But it was good. Yeah. Yeah, where she's on like she's part of a ghost hunting crew or filming something for college. I don't know, goes to a house. It was creepy. It was good.
Yeah.
Good enough that, I became a fan. So Elena got 120. Emily's drawing some charts for herself to fill in later. That's excellent. Hope is having fun writing a spicy scene. Fantastic. I will say, I have two spicy scenes, not in this book, but in its sequel, that I'm going to have to go and refine when I get to those revisions. And that is both exciting and nerve-wracking because they're, with any kind of scene, fight scene, spicy scene, chase scene, heist scene, what have you, there are elements that make a good scene. There's a way to write it, or there are ways to write it that make it good. And when it comes to that stuff, I still got a lot to learn. So
but
we'll
also
see how
you
that
kind of have
goes.
to choreograph it as well.
Yeah. You certainly do. All righty. Let's see. Okay, we have 2 minutes and 20 seconds until our next sprint starts. We don't have anything else going on in Dabble this week, but let me double check to see what's happening next week. I mean, the big news next week, I have to shamelessly plug this, is that we are launching Dabble U Academy next week. And Ashley, you are a Dabble Premium member, so you already get most of the stuff that will be made available with Dabble U Academy. But we're also launching more to our course library than what is currently there. Right there, we have 2 courses. We're adding a paid course, and we're adding a whole lot more content to the courses for Dabble U Academy and Dabble Premium people, because Dabble Premium subscribers get access to Dabble U Academy, no extra charge. So
it was actually one of the workshops. I didn't watch it live, about the POV.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I'm working on now, I'm changing the POV in each chapter
Okay.
to a different character, because I found that, like you were saying, that you switched POVs a couple
Yep.
times within the chapter and it throws you out. So this is me practicing keeping on one character's POV.
Excellent. Excellent. How are you finding it?
It's really difficult to keep in just one frame of mind.
Yeah.
And they've all got different voices as well.
Yep. Yeah. But that's what makes it so effective, right? And the
Yeah.
best thing you can do when you're swapping, if you are swapping between narrators or like perspective
Mhm.
characters, the POV, you have to ask yourself which one is the best, which one
Yeah.
brings the most to this situation.
Yeah.
And that's the one you have to go with. And you'd think, if you're not familiar with it, that there isn't going to be that big of a difference, but it makes a huge
Yeah.
difference. All right, we got 20 seconds here. Renee's asking, do we have an ETA on the new courses? A new course next week, and then new courses monthly after that. We actually have the next 3 months, 4 months ready to go. I'll chat more about that when we're done, because sprints are starting. See everyone in 20 minutes. Enjoy the last sprint. Alrighty, and that is our third and final sprint of the day done. I got 16 whole words that time. If we add it all up, if we add it all up, that's 42 words total for me today. How'd it go for you?
I got 807 on that sprint for a total of 2,540.
Fantastic. How much left in the book?
No idea.
However much it takes.
However much it takes. I
All right,
imagine it's going to be a beast to edit down.
Let's check in on the chat here. Sarah had to drop out a couple minutes ago, but we appreciate her being here. Hope saying just before we started the sprint, wasn't sure about which POV to use for the scene, but the male main character is one out. Hope, how come? Let us know why you chose that. David got 332. Athena got 479, roughly about 1K total, which is fantastic. And Hope's scene got emotional, 285, and you love your male main character even more now. Reed 557 for a total of 1563, and Elena with 255. Excellent. NJ almost there with the plot holes. I can see daylight up there somewhere now. Fantastic. All right. Yeah, so that's really it for Dabble for this week. Again, we have Dabble U Academy launching next week, and I'm going to be doing a fun live stream Wednesday morning my time, that being Eastern time, next Wednesday to talk about it as it's launching. But between now and then, you can mark your calendars. We do have a show. Hank has a show on Tuesday with Claudia Gray about blending genres and author voices, which is going to be exciting. And for my premium folks, we have our workshop next Tuesday as well. And it's going to be talking about creating a revision plan and how you approach revisions for your novel, which is going to be very exciting. Yeah, anything you got for me, Ashley, before we sign off and let everyone get
noisy cats.
Oh my goodness, so cute. Great addition.
Great addition. I thought I'd give a face to the noises that were happening all around.
The other co-host. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Ashley, thank you for being my co-host today. It was a lot of fun. And everyone have a good week. If you're in the US, enjoy your holiday tomorrow. Otherwise, we will see you all on Tuesday. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.